Investigators have called it one of the biggest corruption cases.
It's one of the biggest frauds, financial frauds in history.
We woke up one morning in July 2015 to realize that almost $700 million had gone into the Prime Minister's account.
The disappearance of billions of dollars from Malaysia's state fund is one of the biggest financial scandals, not just in Malaysia, but around the world.
Mysterious mastermind, a Chinese businessman called Jho Low.
Hi, I'm Wan Alisha and I'll be giving you an overview of this case. Now, what actually is 1MDB scandal? It stands for One Malaysia Development Berhad and is a sovereign wealth fund created in 2009 for strategic investments to help alleviate poverty in Malaysia, but instead the fund was stolen and spent on personal spendings such as private parties, real estate, and even funding Hollywood films. Now, who is involved in this matter? Mainly former Prime Minister of Malaysia, Najib Razak, a financier, Jho Low, and an investment company called Goldman Sachs, plus a whole network of bankers and officials who helped move the money around. Where and when did all of this happen? It started in between 2009 and 2015, but honestly, investigations are still ongoing to recover the lost assets because although it started in Malaysia, the money was moved across the world to various different countries and a bunch of offshore accounts. And how could this happen, you ask? It's through strategic yet complicated financial tricks using shell companies and also weak oversight that let massive transfers slip through the cracks. But most importantly, why does this matter? It's because the fund, the people's money to be exact, was initially meant for national development. Losing billions not only affected the trust, the economy, and Malaysia's reputation worldwide, but it also reflects dishonesty, lack of accountability, and abuse of power. Now moving on to the ethical elements of this case.
For this part, I'll press on the devastating ethical rot at the heart of the 1MDB scandal, a profound failure of ethics and public trust on a global scale. The central ethical issue is the collapse of fiduciary duty. Public funds meant for Malaysian people were hijacked by high-level political figures and Jho Low. They violated this core trust, diverting over $4.5 billion for personal luxury like yachts and real estate. This is a clear case of kleptocracy, the systematic theft by those in power. The second major issue is willful blindness and professional enabling. Global gatekeepers like Goldman Sachs choose to ignore numerous regulatory red flags. Their ethical failure was prioritizing huge profits over strict anti-money laundering compliance, allowing the fraud to succeed internationally. Ultimately, 1MDB destroyed the contract of trust. We must demand transparent governance and unwavering accountability for all professionals who enable this corruption.
The 1MDB scandal is not just a ledger of misappropriated billions, it is a profound failure of the oath to serve. It shows us what happens when unchecked power meets unbridled greed. The crime of 1MDB began in Malaysia, but it was laundered across the globe. It proved that in the 21st century, corruption is a global supply chain. The solution is not just better domestic law, it's a new global architecture of accountability. We must make the cost of enabling corruption catastrophic. Banks, law firms, and gatekeepers must face criminal liability for willful blindness. Their algorithms must be smarter, their compliance must be non-negotiable, and their leadership must be held personally accountable. 1MDB taught us that corruption thrives in the gaps between jurisdictions. So to prevent the next scandal, we must close these gaps. So what is the ultimate lesson of 1MDB? It is that ethics is not an option, it is the foundation of a functioning society. When the custodians of the public purse, whether they are prime ministers, bank executives, or compliance officers, abandon their duty, they don't just commit a financial crime, they commit a moral betrayal against every citizen who placed their trust in them. This scandal is a chilling reminder that the greatest defense against corruption isn't just a law or a policy. It is the vigilance and the ethical courage of ordinary individuals, such as journalists, civil servants, and you, the public, who refuse to be silent.